One of Africa's richest men, Aliko Dangote, built the largest oil refinery in Nigeria, the leading oil-producing country on the continent. However, Nigerians are still complaining of high fuel prices that have tripled in recent years and driven up the cost of living. Saddening headlines of explosions of artisanal refineries that have killed thousands, and oil spills that devastate aquatic life have become increasingly frequent. Moreover, the nation's poverty and unemployment levels remain high, with perennial infrastructural and energy problems. At the root of all these challenges is crude oil theft, a crime that has made the black gold a curse for this great African nation. Dear viewer, your support is crucial for our growth and we value your feedback. Please consider liking, commenting, and sharing this video. Subscribe to the channel to ensure you never miss such insightful episodes. Thank you. You might wonder, if Nigeria has so much crude oil deposits, then why is it not a rich country yet? More importantly, why are Nigerians complaining about the rising cost of fuel, yet they can mine and refine it? Why are people dying from oil explosions and having to live and work in polluted environments? To answer these questions, we need to focus on the critical challenge of theft. As of 2024, Nigeria has reclaimed its spot as the top oil-producing country in Africa, at about 1.4 million barrels per day, after previously losing it to Libya in 2022. In November of 2005, the production had peaked at 2.49 million barrels per day. This means that production has dropped by about 1 million barrels per day in just 9 years. Notably, while the new Dangote Oil Refinery is able to meet the country's fuel needs, the company has been unable to get sufficient crude oil supply. As a result, Nigeria has to export its crude oil and import refined petroleum for domestic use. This situation forces the country to increase US dollar usage and adds additional costs in the supply chain, resulting in higher pump prices. Though the government had tried to cushion the consumer through fuel subsidies, the strategy became unsustainable, consuming about 40% of the national budget, thereby resulting in its removal. Consequently, fuel prices in Nigeria have risen sharply. Essentially, Nigeria's fuel crisis is partly due to insufficient production, which is where the theft problem comes in. Legally, big oil companies like the Shell Corporation have the mining and export licenses for Nigeria's crude oil. However, numerous groups have emerged in the Niger Delta, carrying out illegitimate refinery activities. These groups often target the pipelines of the major companies and siphon crude oil illegally, leading to the loss of oil along the lines. The groups then use local and smaller-scale refinery methods that are extremely dangerous to produce different products such as kerosene for the local market. Others collect and sell the crude oil to the international black market. It is noteworthy that Nigeria is Africa's most populous country, home to about 234 million people. The World Bank estimates that over 40% of this population lives in poverty. The unemployment rate is also relatively high, standing at 4.3% for the second quarter of 2024. Accordingly, many young people are poor and unemployed. This situation has resulted in many of them seeking some form of income through the theft and illegal refinery and sale of crude oil. However, these operations are not simple. Different militant groups have taken up this illegal trade to fund their activities. The rampant impunity and corruption among government officials has also created a negative culture that sometimes supports and encourages the theft to devastating effects. According to a recent news article by Al Jazeera, Nigeria lost about $23 billion in 2022 alone from oil theft. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation estimates that about 200,000 barrels are lost to oil theft daily. With such high amounts of crude oil being lost through theft, the country struggles to meet the demand. This explains part of the reason why the new refinery, despite its size, has been unable to address the fuel cost and shortage problem in Nigeria. The government also continues to lose important revenue that could help to address lingering socio-economic challenges. Besides hampering production and diminishing government revenue, oil theft also has severe environmental implications. These illegal activities often lead to substantial leakage and dumping of crude oil and oil waste into water bodies. Consequently, the pollution kills aquatic life such as fish and makes the water harmful for human use. These outcomes further exacerbate the challenges of poverty with regard to access to food and clean water. Oil theft is also extremely dangerous due to its unregulated nature and use of makeshift processes. These activities often lead to serious accidents, resulting in injury and death. For instance, on the 24th of April, 2022, over 100 people lost their lives in an explosion at one of the illegal refineries in Yenagao, which also injured many more and burnt trees, cars, and other property. This is just one of the many accidents that occur as a result of the illegal refinery activities, leading to major losses of life and property. Such incidents leave long-term health and socio-economic effects on the affected communities. In sum, Nigeria's oil is supposed to be a blessing for the country. When one thinks about the development and economies of Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Qatar among others, it is normal to expect Africa's leading oil producer to flourish. However, Nigeria's economy struggles as a result of oil theft, leading to high cost of living, environmental degradation, and loss of life and property. A vicious circle emerges where lack of sufficient production exacerbates high costs and poverty, leading to desperate young people engaging in oil theft, which in turn promotes production challenges. The decline in oil production over the years and rising cost of fuel is undeniable evidence of the adverse effect of oil theft. Addressing this problem effectively and permanently will therefore be crucial to determining the country's economic trajectory and turning the oil curse back into the blessing of the black gold.